I'm trying to eat at the same time. Okay, test, test, test. Hopefully I'm not too quiet. Okay, meet Davrin. How does it want me to get there? Up the stairs? Looks like it.
Patrols have checked in. They found some more relics.
Oh, that's all. Wow, I like the particle effect from Emmrich's staff.
Agreed. But first we need to get a handle on what exactly is happening out there.
It changes by the hour.
Better than by the minute.
Yeah, so it seems like the after effects of disrupting Solstice ritual is still affecting the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan Forest, especially because they're going out of their way to find and like locate and neutralize relics. So it's unfortunate that the game didn't really cover what Veil Jumpers do exactly. It almost seems like Veil Jumpers are just there, you know? It doesn't go into like why they Ooh, Tash's little somersault's so cool.
Nice takedown.
Any more? Okay, I'm heading northeast.
There's a fight ahead.
Where? Ahead of me right now? Oh. Oh, unfortunate. Sibo got stuck in the middle of cooking. Thanks! I have to find more of these owl statues. I got loot from the last one I went. Hoo hoo! Hoo hoo! At. Wait. Okay. Hey, Davrin! Oh wait, is that an owl statue?
Another owl.
Watch out.
Oh.
Look at that.
Explorer's Journal. Danger! I was wrong. These owl statues are dangerous. I think they've been booby-trapped by some nefarious force. Whatever noble purpose they once served, it's been twisted to ensnare foolhardy explorers like me. Beware! Renee Limfort. Renee. Have I encountered someone named that before in any Dragon Age content? Can't remember. Okay. This headphone is giving me a headache. It's making me dizzy.
Hey there, Rook.
Hey! Yeah. Actually, wait, let me raise volume because this... I barely hear anything. There we go, much better. Oh, a little loud.
Let's get going.
Okay.
I've been thinking. Lancet and Remy used special food to train the Griffins. Said it was the fastest way to start a bond.
Like a dog.
Right, what'd you call it? Turlum?
That's it. And gingerwort truffles were
Ugh,
the Griffins'
more
favorite
Fenrirel
treats.
statues.
They grow around ruins. We're going to teach Assan how to find some.
What's up here? Oh, looks like I can't unlock it yet. I know the Dalish practice of establishing a Fenrirel statue at the edge of camp so that it acts as like a lightning rod. It draws trouble away from camp, but wow. Why so many Fenrirel statues, huh? This looks blocked off for now. Andiamo.
How did you end up with the Grey Wardens?
Grew up in a Dalish clan. I'd hear all these stories about things that
Yeah, here we
happened
go.
thousands of years ago.
The Dalish do love their history.
Except I wanted to make history. Didn't fit in. Got bored, so I went looking for adventure.
How'd that go over with your clan?
Poorly. They felt like I rejected them.
Did you?
Yeah, I suppose. Land life wasn't for me. I had to get away.
So then what happened? You're out in the world looking
Curious.
for adventure.
Got my ass kicked. Went broke. I couldn't go crawling back to my clan of failure. Doubt they'd take me back. Forced me to figure out what I was good at. Always had a knack for hunting.
I can see it. Interesting that Davrin, he like knows, he's almost like task oriented. He knows he needs to go out and do something. Not task oriented, a go-getter, I guess. He's ambitious, I'll give him that. But it's interesting that that translated to him not just leaving the clan, but going out, trying to be like a hunter slash dragon hunter. Ooh. How do I reach there? I've already drowned. I'm curious. Maybe I'll go back for it later. And that, and like I guess he got his butt kicked just being a dragon hunter, and then I guess it ended up with him becoming a warden. It gives him purpose, so he's not just like a... It's not like Lords of Fortune who do hunt monsters and stuff. It was less being commissioned to do something and more of a calling. That's what he ended up with, being a warden. Hard to believe anyone would willingly... I love this aurora effect, this like mirage effect, because it shows kind of how Arlathan Forest was described and depicted in both the comics and Tevinter Nights to be this place that is almost oppressive because of the magic that's ambient within it. And you know, like I think Valara mentioned the history of the whole place being like a site of a ton of blood magic during the Tevinter conquest of the Elven people. So like, it feels oppressive, it makes your hair stand on end, and it's almost like the forest rejects anything outside of it, anything foreign. And as you know, whether you're an elf or not, like any sentient creature that's not like a native beast is foreign, so it's like everyone feels uncomfortable traversing Arlathan. Yet at the same time, this game has like captured how beautiful and stunning this place is right now, and like is a shadow almost of what the crystalline floating spire empire of the elves originally was like. I don't feel as I don't feel like my hair standing on end by default when I enter this forest. It's only when Thorn, that's my nickname. I only felt uncomfortable when I saw stuff like I took a close look, like, oh, those branches sticking out of that tree over there are not branches, those are legs. Like, that was really creepy. I hate that feeling.
Nope. This is harder than it looks.
It's fleas, isn't it? What'd I tell you?
Actually, I think it's truffle.
Huh.
Maybe the nugs like truffles. Could Assan know that if you follow them, you might find truffles?
Are you really that smart, boy?
Seems pretty clever to me.
If only you'd be clever enough to listen.
Well, you're still getting to know each other. Remember, Turlum. Remy was probably right. Remember how she said he needed a lighter touch?
Yeah, those were her last
If I were
words.
soft on him, the world would chew him up.
Let's give you both a chance and see if he can find any more of these.
Assan's eyes are
How?
blue.
Find some nugs, see what happens.
Warden blue.
So how did you go from hunter to slayer of monsters?
Yeah, that's my
Uncle
question.
Eldrin. An old elf I knew growing up. When I was a kid, I'd hunt just about anything. Rabbits, deer, fox. Eldrin gave that purpose. Taught me the way of 3 trees. The way of the arrow, way of the bow, way of the wood.
That sounds noble.
Eldrin taught me to hunt the unnatural so the natural can thrive. Be a force for good. Besides, it was either that or starve.
I think the
Monsters
3
make
ways
good corn.
Davrin mentioned, I think they were
Why
written
become
in
a
a
Grey
codex in a past
If you were
Dragon Age
making
game.
money on your own,
Or no, was it mentioned
I
by
didn't leave my clan to get
Strife
rich.
in
Had to prove it was all worth something.
Trevinter
I
Nights?
needed a cause.
there are easier causes than dying in the deep roads.
Yeah.
Darkness is a sparring partner. The greater the shadow you confront, the
Mythal.
stronger you are for winning.
So you
Mythal
meet
again.
When you can't beat.
Haven't yet.
Oh, Sometimes when I see a mushroom circle, I kind of channel my inner superstitious person. I become a little more superstitious. I'm not entering that mushroom circle. I'm a firm, you know, I am a devout Christian, but you can't make me enter a mushroom circle. Seeing that trinity of Mythal statues reminds me of that superstition. I'm not entering it. Any, I'm not standing between 3 or more elven statues in this place. Not if I can help it. There's that note progression again. Hey! Like Dragon Age 2. Am I supposed to go up here? Oh, okay. Elk statues again. Anything over here? No. Nugs!
I think Assan's got
Liliana would love to kidnap all of them. Or I guess forcefully adopt.
I'll be damned. Follow the nugs.
Like I said, he's a clever one.
Might make a tracker out of you yet. Hungry? What? It's gingerwort. Eat it.
Remember, light touch.
I mean, it's dessert fit for a prince.
He's like,
See?
it's like teaching a baby to eat. Or making them eat.
He'll be fine. He just has a strong spirit. Let him grow into it.
Yeah.
Might not have time for that. With
Assan
Lancet
is sort
and
of,
Ranagon, if
he
something
almost
happens
seems
to
like
me,
someone
he'll have to
who,
stand on his own.
once you,
So
he's like
don't
an
let
arrow,
anything
like his
happen to
name.
you.
Once you
We're both
unleash an
warriors.
arrow,
Death's
you can't
around
stop
every
it.
corner.
He's a loosed arrow,
Not that I
unstoppable.
don't enjoy punching it squarely in the face.
Repeatedly.
I like that confidence.
That's how you win.
It's not all about winning. Sometimes I enjoy the pursuit too.
The thrill of the chase.
Yeah, Monster Hunter.
Okay, boy. That's enough for one day.
Oh, but he's having fun.
He overeats, and you'll find out how fun Griffon puke is.
Ew.
Assan, you heard him. Let's go.
Codex update. Davrin's journal. Gingerwort truffles. I don't know why a half eagle, half lion likes truffles, but griffins can't resist them. Assan's brothers and sisters all went wild for them, and now Assan is carrying on the family tradition. I asked Harding what's so special about them. She didn't know, so we did what any good mage or alchemist does. We both tried to nibble. The taste of ginger was overwhelming. It's too much. Yet Assan gulps them down. I guess it's like broccoli. Some people love it, but those with working taste buds avoid it. I guess Davrin doesn't like broccoli. Emmrich muttered something about brewing it as a tea to enhance any magical properties, but I'm not in a hurry. Davrin and Emmrich are so funny. As long as this gingerwort keeps Assan happy, I won't question the reasons why. My younger days. Hunting for truffles turned out to be a chance to get to know Rook better. It also got me thinking about my younger days, and how I haven't spoken to my clan in a long time. They didn't understand why I wanted something more than the traditional Dalish life. I guess I was stubborn and bullheaded, and figured I'd go show them as I ventured off to find my fortune. Since then, I've kept my distance. That's on me. Maybe I've been feeling guilty, I don't know. Davrin did say while we were talking, he's like, when he got his butt handed to him the first time he stepped out of the clan to go, make his own path, he felt embarrassed, so it's probably also why he kept his distance. But I do know I miss Uncle Eldrin. Talking about him with Rook got me thinking about my days as a kid in Arlathan Forest. Racing Aravels through the forest, following hidden Dalish trails to secret waterfalls, it all gave me a taste for adventure I never outgrew. Griffon extinction. I've been going through the Grey Ward and histories of the Griffins. Something isn't adding up. They're a part of our order for centuries, and then one day they aren't. There's vague talk about blights taking their toll, how eggs weren't hatching and their numbers dwindled. But they'd already survived earlier blights without trouble, and why would eggs stop hatching? Which means something's happening, but I can't find any details. Did they get sick? Was there some sort of disease? More than a few records around that time are missing, and I can't find anything about how many eggs hatched, which I'm sure they were meticulous about. There's a missing piece in all this I need to track down. Okay. Morn Watch. Complications in the Veil. The Veil, our immutable, eternal barrier against the Fade. Or so we thought. There has recently been a great weakening in the Veil, thanks to a confluence of magic in the south we have yet to understand. What scant information we have paints a chilling picture. The Veil may be undone permanently, either in large parts or as a whole. We cannot give way to panic. Should this threat be real, someone must be prepared to answer. If the Veil falls, thousands of lives, all we hold dear, will be swept away. It cannot say what would take their place. Notes from a lecture by Emmrich Volkaren in 942 Dragon. I think that's during the events of Trespasser? Not sure. Or is it the year today? I thought today was 952 or 51. To a council of Chantry scholars, nobility, and Navaran mages. And I apologize if my reading is really bad. I have stigma. So depending on the lighting in my room and my distance to the TV, I can't really see well, and anyone who has stigma knows this. Like, trying to drive at night is horrible because you can't really tell where cars are and what their distance is from you. Lights look like starbursts, or you see double vision, vertical double vision. And I experienced that while trying to read these things because the words are like vertically double vision for me. A map in a hand unused to paper. Their terror was trembling and palpable. Land as empty as this new void in us that seizes the spirit and makes us suddenly meet. Land as empty as this new void in us that seizes the spirit and makes us suddenly meet. It's almost like a spirit writing down about suddenly becoming physical flesh and losing it feeling hollow inside, like losing connection to the Fade. So the title Beyond the Veil is almost, instead of it being from, entering the Fade, it's more like Beyond the Veil as in crossing from the Fade, your original home, to the real world. But usually I don't know any spirit that's become flesh except maybe Coal/Compassion. Okay. Oh yes, quest. I want to unlock that fast travel thing in the east at least, if I can. I don't know how to get there though. Maybe I go down one level? Can I jump? No, there's a barrier. East, east, east. East. Where is it? Oh, it's probably locked by... This thing has like a magic barrier, so I guess I can't unlock it. There was a quest over here. I'll do it after Tash's quest. And then I'll check out that quest there soon. So let's go to Tash first.
Let's see if it holds.
Anything to loot? Oh. I hate keeping watch here. Tops doesn't believe me, but I swear the statue's eyes follow me at night. Why'd they build a castle around that thing anyways? I may be a city elf from Valrayo, but even I know the Dread Wolf when I see him. Warden Mel Karavu, 631 steel. I think I saw his note covering... Oh, we know Warden in charge says we have to leave this castle or whatever, this fortress, because there's no more blight and blah blah blah. And he's like, I'm gonna be sad because now it's... What will I do? It used to just be me and my two friends, and I think one of them died, the way he spoke about it.
Looks like the Dreadwolf finds his way just about everywhere.
Yeah.
Griffon is on pretty good terms with the Dalish clans. We get all that stuff here and there.
Where is it pointing? I'm not too interested right now. Just want to figure out what's... Explore a little what's here. Okay.
I'm excited to travel together, Tash. I've heard such stories about the Lords of Fortune.
Don't touch me if I die.
What?
Beg your pardon?
Don't do weird magic to my corpse.
I assure you, a watcher always... Wait, what do you mean by weird?
No death magic. Rook gets my body if I die.
What?
I what now?
If that's what you wish.
She's like, don't touch my corpse. Yeah. Oh, what? I didn't mean to do that, I meant to sprint. Ibala katasam, Edward Tos. Back at ya. Oh, I thank you, Emmrich. Is there anyone else? Oh, what's this? A blood-stained note. Viago, since you said we already had weaponry covered, we've sent mostly alchemical supplies. This should give you what you need for those lovely little traps you've been springing on your new friends in Treviso. You can send your team to our agreed-upon drop spot at the waterfall on the cliff tops. Here's to causing trouble for the Antam wherever they are, Isabella. Of course she'd hate the Antam. Especially after her narrow escape from them, depending on how you play Dragon Age 2. Interesting. It's almost like I'm helping...
These are the crows that were supposed to be picking up supplies. Looks like they were ambushed.
It's almost like I'm helping the Antivan Crows with their contracts and like helping them strengthen or resist the presence of the gods and the Antam and the Darkspawn, whatever. Like, I'm helping the crows complete their contracts and do all that because Lucanus is a very expensive assassin. He is the best, and I'm keeping him for a long-term contract. So obviously, I don't have the funds to support everything. I mean, the funds to support everything, like ourselves and whatnot. So I got to do all this side stuff to to continue to have Lucanus employed. It was Kataranda herself chased us here. It was Kataranda herself chased us. Huh? It was Kataranda herself who chased us in here. We got food and water for a day or two, but Jonas is hurt bad. I think she got Mirabelle. How does something that big come out from nowhere? And I don't mean to say like Lucanus is an by the hour recruit or by the hour employee, because crows typically they have the price up front for a contract. But, you know, this is not a typical situation, so it could be, since we don't have the contract terms clearly defined, neither do we have the payment method defined. So we end up doing stuff like contracts for the crows and taking up, you know, making sure their supplies, they get their supplies and whatnot because they're helping us out. And we need to pay for Lucanus's continued support and service. So yeah, just a theory. I have to come up with these theories because, like, I might be missing the context for some of these missions. I'm not like exploring too much. And like I mentioned earlier, the Veil Jumper's background or purpose is not naturally or like clearly shown while I'm playing this game. If I knew nothing about Dragon Age, I might just think they're there and exist. I don't really know why they're like important, you know? So if I can miss something like that and if I can almost miss something like that and I'm already a Dragon Age fan, I imagine the same is true for like why Rook has to do stuff like
Why wouldn't I?
help
Death
Jacobus'
mage stuff?
cousin
I
David
had
with the
jam
contract
and
and
toast only
stuff.
an hour ago.
Jam and toast! Mmm, delicious! I'll explore this area later. Can I jump down there? No. You know what? There was some sort of bus thing over here that I could kick down. There we go. So I don't have to use that zip line all the time. Okay, let me go. Go back.
Hey. Some for you. Some for you. Hey. Don't be a dick. That was for the little one. Stupid birds.
I wasn't expecting...
What?
I don't know. You with the birds, this is fun.
Oh. Good.
Can I help?
Sometimes I practice with the fire out here. It's safer. No people around. Lots of water.
Is it magic, or...?
It's not magic.
No,
My
as
mother
a
says the
Kunari, I would
used to
know.
be closer to dragons.
Yeah, I would know
Something in
that
our blood.
already.
The Antam called you a Dari.
Yeah. Old Kunari word for fire breather. A few like me are born every generation.
Which Iskari would
My
know the
mother
word.
thinks
She is
Adari
a
were meant for
scholar.
something special. She's always looking through the old texts for clues. Come on. Don't want to scare the birds.
I feel like Rook would, Rook
My mother
definitely is
left
the
Kuhn
type
not far
to
from here. She got herself transferred to Kantar from Parvalan. Smuggled me there and then walked out.
I thought Kantar was well fortified. How did she escape with a child?
Lycune isn't a prison. People can leave if they want.
Yeah,
You little guys hungry?
she doesn't. She might have been.
Do you miss living under the Q?
Her experience of the Qun,
much
or
to
her
miss.
understanding of it,
I was a
might have
baby.
been filtered
misses
by
it.
what Shathann allows her to
She
know.
was an Ashkari back then.
Oh,
Scholar.
Why'd she
Ashkari.
leave?
Me.
Oh, Ashkari, and maybe she was selected as one of those. Like, Kunari are bred, right? So you'll have people be selected to have children and whatnot. And it sounds like Shathann was faithfully Kunari up until she had Taash. And then suddenly there's this bond that is motherly, mother and childlike, that isn't supported by the Qun philosophy, because the Qun philosophy is, breeding
There's enough for all of you.
scenario. It's a breeding scenario.
Shathann was worried about what the Kunari would do with a fire breather like me.
Yeah, it's
What would they
this
do?
motherly
She
bond.
said they'd have me put
And
in
of
the
course,
Antam,
Shathann,
use
who
me as a
left
berserker.
the
The
Qun
idea scared her
society,
enough that she left her library
would
and
tell
walked away from the Qun.
Tosh that, oh, you can leave at any time, because that's almost something I imagine Shathann would tell herself. And you kind of see that with people who emigrate or they leave their home country and all they know for the future of their children. It's like, oh, where I came from, it wasn't that bad. I just wanted something. It was me, a personal decision to have my child somewhere else. It's because it's almost like the scenario of only I can talk bad about my country. And if someone is quick to say, like, oh, your country does kind of suck, you're like, well, hold on, it has its flaws, but I moved here for personal reasons. Not everything about it is like monstrous or horrible. And it seems like Shathann might have influenced Tosh that way.
There you go. Come on. Over here's where I practice.
Why not on the beach?
Don't want to scare the birds. We just fed them.
I wonder if Shathann experiences the fear of ending up like
What the crap is that?
the
The Antam must be marking their territory.
Adashok
Not on
in
my
Dragon
beach.
Age 2.
Vashvatari.
The Adashok and his
These banners need
Kunari
to burn.
soldiers, the Antam, in Dragon Age 2, sincerely thought that they were connected with the Qun still, like they were Kunari. Up until that point where the Adashok, if he's alive by the end of the game, when he returns to Parvalan, he's sentenced to court-martial and then basically execution, right, death. And I wonder if Shathann, because she's from a time after that, I wonder if she has this fear of like, yeah, she sincerely believes she's Kunari, but deep down, is she aware of the possibility that she could end up becoming someone who's not Kunari and do some horrible things like the Adashok who got court-martialed? I'm like, I'm psychologically breaking all of this down through attack.
Nice.
And then you have
What does it
Kunari
feel
like
when you breathe fire like
the
that?
ones we encountered in Ravane who are like, the Qun
spitting.
sucks, or
Ew.
Qun's dirt.
Something inside my throat opens up and lets stuff mix together.
I can see
Then there's this
Shathann
rush of
almost
heat as
like
I
being
roll
like,
out.
oh, you see,
I'm
those
surprised it
guys are
doesn't
definitely
hurt
not
your mouth
Kunari.
to do
I,
that.
on the other hand, have done my
can.
best to follow it,
One
even
time
if
my
I'm
tongue
not
got in the way.
in Qun
Got a
society.
mouthful of fire.
Ouch.
Didn't hurt much. My mother has to make food extra spicy so I can taste it.
Guess that's the trade-off for being a fire breather.
It's fine. I smell stuff better than most people.
Interesting. So she, not only is she dragon-like and breathing fire, she also has a strong sense of smell. And the butcher was the same. He had done some sort of horrific thing to himself to become quote-unquote more dragon-like. I think maybe, probably with Gilnane's help or something. And that's why when you approach the fighting area to fight the butcher, he's like, I can smell you! And it's because he let himself become more beast-like. Whereas, I imagine that butcher would probably be envious of Taash because she comes by it naturally. And like he might look at her and be like, you don't realize the gift you have. A lost poem translated from Kunlat. Slow blink seems to say, I'm going to eat you, little fish, purr, soft, soothing friend. Oh, a Kunari poem. That's true because you know the Kunari, they might have unconventional family quote unquote units, but they still appreciate art. They have scholars, you know. I think any culture lacking art is truly lacking.
An on-time supply cache. Too bad it's locked up.
Not for long. Watch.
All right. Wow, it burned right through it.
Yep. Melt some metals, not all.
How'd you figure out which kinds of metals you could melt?
My mother said I went through a lot of spoons as a baby.
Sorry, I'm also eating.
This way.
More birds to feed?
Something like that. Karash, it's Taash. I brought food.
Avatash, it's good you came early. The feather clouds are getting lower. It's going
Whoa,
to...
that is not how I expect the Canard to look like.
This is Rook. She's a friend.
A friend. All right. Make sure you both dress for rain. Drip rain, not mist rain.
What's the difference between drip rain and mist rain?
Drip rain soaks through the clothes. Mist rain just wets the skin. Sorry, I don't know all the words in your language.
No, I get it.
I wish they would speak
Karash
Kunlat
was a
to me
worker caste
sometimes.
navigator. Got dragged along with the Antam when they invaded.
They told us it was ordered by the Qun. I was not taught war. I was taught the weather. Red clouds for thunder, gray clouds for rain, green clouds for the devouring storm, and black clouds.
I wonder if
The
green
Antam
clouds are like the
cannons.
green flash that was described
what
in
they
Pirates of
did
the
in Ventus,
Caribbean and is sort of like
I ran away.
an actual phenomenon in real life. But clouds instead of light? Curious. Watch yourself. I want to choose something Kunari-like, because even though Rook's dialogue said she doesn't believe in the Qun, I still want to roleplay that way. I ran away. I'll be practical. Do you need any help?
Is there anything you need? We saw that the Antam were in the area.
Yes. I knew some of them from the Dreadnought where I worked. I know places to hide. They did not see me.
Let me know if they give you trouble.
I am at peace, Avatash. I have the clouds to watch and fish to eat.
More than just fish. Here you go. Shathann said to eat the fruit before it spoils.
I like the cookies better.
Everyone likes the cookies better.
I'll eat the fruit. Thank you, Avatash.
Panahe done. I'll see you soon.
Cat.
So, the dragon hunter has a softer side.
The Qun says you take care of people.
So, you're a little Kunari, a little Riveni, and a little dragon?
Yeah?
I personally understand that. Point out the strengths of living in different worlds. Point out challenges of living in different worlds. Iskari would definitely feel that.
Not always easy, is it?
Come on. I should tell my mother how Karash is doing.
You've chosen to empathize with Tosh. Wait, that was too fast.
So what's not always easy?
I had to leave my old life behind when I joined the Grey Warden.
Canary knife. While initial evaluations dramatically presumed the well-sharpened blade was for sinister purposes, looking at you, Brother Rondes, this device is strikingly similar to one used by Riveni bakers to cut flatbread. Lol. Wow.
Then I had to leave that to stop Solus.
Yeah, my
Just
old life of being
once,
an
I'd
Iskari.
like to be one thing, you know?
Yeah.
The Chantry versus the Kyun, an excerpt from Tol Vashot, a guide for Kunaria leaving the Kyun, written by Seer Rowan with notes from Shathann. Notes from Shathann for Kunaria leaving the Kyun. Interesting. Because the term for that, I think, is Tal Vashot, when you leave the Kyun. When you were born there and you leave the Kyun. I wonder if Shathann wants to continue to call herself Kunari because of the reasons I already listed earlier. Translated from Kunlat. As you learn of the world outside the Kyun, you will hear people speak of the Maker and the Chantry. In some ways, these are like the Kyun under which you grew up. The Chantry is not like the whole of the Kyun. It is instead like our priests and scholars. Outside the Kyun, the military is controlled by a ruler like the King of Rivain, while building and farming are controlled by merchants. Shathann's note. If this strikes you as inefficient, you understand it correctly. Imagine an Athlok worker and an Asala priest arguing over how to build a library with no triumvirate to settle their disputes fairly. The Chant of Light teaches that the world was created by the Maker, a divine figure who then left the world to dwell in the Fade. By the Maker means that something surprising has happened, while Maker willing is hoping for good fortune. Shathann. The Maker is not a spirit or a demon. Suggesting this might be the case makes Chantry priests very unhappy. Andraste was a warrior and scholar who received visions of the Chant of Light, much like Kostlun understanding the principles of the Kyun. She spread the chant across the south. The core principles of the Chantry are to be kind to one another, to spread word of the Chant of Light, much like the Kyun was meant to spread, and to not let mages rule over others. This is interpreted differently in different countries. In the south, mages were kept in captivity, restricted almost like our Sarabas. Almost. It's actually worse than the Kyun. They have their lips sewn shut, and they wear chains, and like basically they're treated as less than human, less than a person. In Rivain, mages simply must renounce any claim to rule as a noble. Whoa, interesting. Also because I already mentioned way earlier in this game, like Rivain respects seers, so it seems like you can be a seer, you can become a seer as a mage, but you can't claim anything as a noble. In Tevinter, Chantry priests say that the Chant of Light only restricts mages from ruling for evil, and mages are free to rule. This has led to a split between the Chantry there and in other places. Shathann, it is reassuring to see that the Kyun is not the only way of life broken by institutional corruption. So Shathann views the Antam's breakaway from the Kyun as an institutional corruption. I guess that's why Shathann kind of lives in limbo. She sees herself as Kunari, doesn't want to be Tal Vashot. It's almost like the Iron Bull, really. And then Taash is the product of that. Talk about generational trauma.
I had to take Kunari language classes growing up. I had to learn how to tie these stupid knots. It wasn't so bad when the Kunari and Rivain were at peace.
Peace,
now the Antam have broken from the Kyun and started attacking. People look at me like they're scared I'll switch sides.
But to the Antam, you and I are just Vashoth, right?
Yeah.
But Vashot, the way it was pronounced. I'm not a Vashot, I'm a Kyun! I'm Kunari! But it looks like Rook, Kunari Rook is canonically born outside of the Kyun. If she was born in it and left, she'd be Tal Vashot. Tal Vashot. That's what the Ben Gesserit's spy called Bull in Dragon Age Inquisition.
Mother, what are you doing here?
You used to call me Tama.
Short for
Now she
Tamasran.
used to wet the bed. Want me to start that up again?
I'd rather you didn't.
Not that it's my business. She's not in my...
She always did like the flustered ones.
Oh, excuse me?
Tash's tastes are quite varied, although it is uncommon for her to be attracted to men.
Mother.
Perhaps because in some ways, she acts more like a man herself.
Why are you here?
I came to ask Karash about the tablet your group recovered. I wondered if some of the symbols might be used among the Antam.
Be gentle. Don't make him talk about the war.
I see the wisdom of your suggestion. I also see that you used your fire again, Chakra Toebra.
Chakra Toebra.
Remember to keep your consonants crisp. Kunari do not slouch, and neither does our language. Panahedan, Evatash. You did well bringing Karash his food.
Sorry. She's like that.
So, the flustered ones, huh?
Well, thanks for coming. We should get back.
Thanks for having me along. Maybe we can do this again.
Right? Yep.
Her expression. Okay. I'm gonna grab food real quickly. Interesting that Shathann was like, I see the wisdom in your suggestion, kind of implying that there was a possibility of her talking about the war with the the worker caste dude. I forgot his name already. It seems like Shathann can still be blunt, pragmatic, straightforward, like a Kunari. Like her personality, because she did grow up fully in the Qun until she was an adult, basically. And it's interesting because, like, our only experience of encountering a Kunari who was a Kunari up until adulthood was Bull, but he was a Ben Hasrath, so he had already formed this persona, or the way he behaves himself adapts to the person he's talking to. So you never actually see him as Kunari Hisrad, the Kunari named Hisrad, you know. By the time you romance him completely, and if you persuade him to, how do I get across? And if you persuade him to save the Chargers, then his personality is already fundamentally changed into the Iron Bull that you know and, like, love. Am I stuck here? I'm a little lost. Okay, next thing. Ooh. Letter from Shathann to Taash. Evatash, I am pleased you are well in your new home. Is the food sufficient? If you are using your gift more often now, as I suspect you are, then you will need to eat more green vegetables to prevent the blood sickness. This is especially important during your moon cycle. Okay. If you run out of tea or medicines, I would be happy to send more. Do not neglect the embryum pills before you sleep. You forgot your extra Darsam ropes at home. I have sent them to you. The ropes will fray eventually, especially when adorned with ornaments like yours. Trust your senses, hunt wisely, and be cautious using your fire in front of the Antam. Remember, Chakra Toebra. Shathann. Period. She signs off with a period. Wow. Okay. Letter from Taash to local Ravani guards about Karash. I have explained this before. Karash isn't Antam. He was with the Antam. Antam dreadnoughts are crewed by soldier caste and non-soldier caste. He did charts. You can't be scared of someone who did charts. I know, Ravani soldiers fight and do charts, but the Kunari has all this caste crap. He's a weather guy who got stuck on the dreadnought when Antam assholes broke away from the Qun. He's as scared of them as you are. He doesn't want to fight. He just wants to talk about humidity and air pressure and crap. He's also nervous around Baz, all of you. Shathann and I will take care of him. We might get him back to Parvolan when he's ready. I'm done talking about this. He has PTSD. Taash. Oh! I like your outfit, man. Alright. Anything else? Nope. Oh, wait. Quest. Oh, there's a quest behind me through the gate, so I can't reach there. But I can go over here and look at the quest.